Thanks everyone for being here tonight. We really appreciate it. We're gonna go ahead and get started and tell you about applying to the Columbus Arts Festival. So for the Columbus Arts Festival, there's technically like 3 different bites at the apple for a local artist that we're gonna cover tonight. So first is gonna be the main festival. Then Lisa's gonna talk about the.
Oh, I am?
Then Lisa's gonna talk about the Emerging Artists Festival. And then Donna and Pat are going to talk about the big local area. So 3 different areas that we're gonna cover today, but just a little bit of who's in the room today. So hi, my name is Alexis. I am the director of the Columbus Arts Festival. And then we have Kenneth.
Hello, I'm the festival coordinator.
And then Raisa Velasquez from our office is here as well. So if any of you would feel most comfortable having these conversations with some Spanish translation, Raisa is here to offer that and help you guys out. Cool. So get into it. So did you know around 500,000 people come to the Columbus Arts Festival over 3 days? And additionally, we give out $21,000 in prizes to split up over 12 artists at the festival. So if you are representing artists at the festival, there are awards that we have judges that go around and judge the different booths and the arts there. And you have an opportunity to not only sell while you're at the festival, but you could win one of the prizes, and then that's additional cash and a very nice little glass award. And so here are a few important dates. So we're here in November and applications close on December 8th. That's really soon. It's less than a month away, and you've got a little bit of a holiday gap coming up next week. So if you're interested in applying, I highly suggest you guys apply ASAP, so that way you're not like on December 7th going, oh God, this is due. So that's the most important date to keep in mind. Then we'll jury everyone in the festival on the 20th and the 21st of January. And everyone who is getting into the festival is waitlisted or going to be declined to the festival. We'll get that notification on February 12th. March 11th, so these things then start coming pretty fast after that. March 11th, contracts and payments are due. June 6th is artist load-in, and then June 7th, 8th, and 9th is the festival. A lot of this is available in the FAQs as well, so if you need to review any of those. All right, go ahead and sign in. You just got started. Yep. And for the next slide. All right, so is my artwork a good fit for the Columbus Arts Festival? So in thinking about just the main festival as a whole, which is the juried artists of over like 250 juried artists that are in, there are about 15 different categories that your art could fit into. So on our website, not only is there the prospectus that kind of outlays what those different categories are and what defines what's in those categories, but if you're still kind of wondering, like, I don't know where I fit in after that, you can look at the visual gallery of past artists and click on the different mediums and go, oh, okay, I would be in 3D, or see the art and go, oh, I'd be in 2D, or, I mean, ceramics and glass, and you guys probably know who you are. So, but those are different ways to like find out what, where you fit and when you apply, what category you should jury into. If you pick the wrong category, don't worry, because if the jury is seeing your art and goes, oh, I feel like that's more digital art than photography, or whatever the case may be, they will make the recommendation to move you. And then once you're accepted into the festival after that, then I'll reach out and notify you and let you know, like, hey, you've been juried into the festival. I just want to let you know, you may have like juried in as digital, but they felt like you were more in photography. So you've been juried into that category and get that confirmation. So no surprises. And we also get a lot of questions from folks who ask, well, if I apply for the wrong category, does that hurt my chances of getting into the festival? Absolutely not. It just causes like maybe some discussion amongst the judges. They recategorize you, they score you, they move on. So none, like if you get it wrong, it's okay. And then what happens if you get juried into the festival? What does that come with? Well, you get a 10 by 10 booth space if you pick 10 by 10. There's also for 10 by 20. your booth space comes, that you pay for, comes with one free parking spot. So that's great. Some festivals don't offer any on-site parking for artists. You'll get a badge. Your badge is good for free water at any of the beverage booths that are on site. You also, if you need a break, if you need to go to the restroom, you need to grab a burrito, maybe you just need time out. We have booth sitters. So you can call on the back of your lanyards. There's numbers that you can call and someone will come and they will sit at your booth. They'll talk to people, and if you want them to ring them out, or you teach them how to ring out a sale, they can even do that. Like, they are there to help you get a little bit of a break. Artist Market is our organization, on site of volunteers that are happy to help
Sign
you.
in, please.
Sign in. They're happy to help you with anything else. Do you have someone who bought a really big piece of artwork? Do you have someone that has some questions? Do you have some questions? You have your Artist Market Heartline that you can reach out to help you. There's also, free continental breakfast of coffee and bagels. And new this year, our VIP area is also going to be made available to our artists so that they have a lounge and then they have a restroom that they can use as well there. Let's see the benefit. So that kind of encapsulates main festival, which is not the Emerging Festival Artist Program. If you're interested in the Emerging Festival Artist Program, you might be an artist that's like farther along in your journey, or you might be like newer in your artistic journey. But as long as you have not shown, not applied to, but shown in a major large scale festival, then you're available for the Emerging Artist Program. And Lisa, who is part of our Emerging Festival Artist Program team, the team of people who are going to shepherd you through this process, is going to talk to you a little bit more about that program. That's way, and then you can just speak from your heart about the program.
Well, I will say, I've not exhibited as a festival artist. I have juried a couple of times, which is pretty awesome. And this year I was invited to support the Emerging Artist Program. I remember when I was emerging artist, I wish that I knew about this program because they take really great care of you. If you've had multiple shows, and you've never had a major festival, even if you've had like a medium festival or not, I think you should do the emerging arts because they cover so much ground that you wouldn't know. So like they shorten the curve for everybody, which I think is an amazing thing to say, to have. What else can I say about it? There are 5 people on my team, I believe. Am I right about that?
I think you guys are closer to 9.
Oh, well, I've only met 4. But they're all really great informed people. So I think if you have questions for me, I'm happy to answer them, but I honestly don't have a whole lot of I can share about this emerging artist yet. So I encourage you to apply and get the price break, get all the benefits. It's the best way to jump into something like this. They take really great care. This team takes great care of everybody.
And there are 2 informational sessions that if you're an emerging artist and you're juried in as emerging artist, you have to attend to show in the festival. They're in person, but they're these really great, about 9 to noon coaching sessions where they'll walk you through how to get ready to show at a festival. And we've had people ask before, well, I've had a booth at Worthington's Arts Festival, or I've been at Grove City Arts in the Alley. Am I not allowed to apply? No, those are smaller, medium-sized, totally awesome festivals, and it's great experience I'm here about. But this is have you shown at old what's the one in Amherst called? Old Town? Old Town, thank you. Or Pittsburgh Art Show, or the Cincinnati Summer Fair Art Show. So major city festivals where you're one of multi-hundreds artists. So if you've been in smaller fairs, totally still cool to apply to this. And when you pick your afterwards, yes, I want to apply. They applied. And then I noticed their name and they had applied for Bacon Festival. And I called them and I was like, you want me to change your medium? And they're like, oh yes, please, I want to be an emerging artist. So make sure you pick that.
Last year, a lot of professional local artists got in last year. A couple of them were emerging artists, but a couple of them got into the main show. Many people, I learned, miss that button for some reason.
Mhm.
So look for that emerging arts and be sure to check it.
Yeah.
Because you miss out on stuff from January to, is it June?
June.
Yeah, so like 6 months of care and guidance, was worth it.
Yeah, and it's just in the list of mediums when you go into the application. And then I mentioned the 2 workshop dates. You do get a free tent included, so we'll rent a professional tent for you. And that will just show up and be there in your booth spot, so that way you can decorate and dress up your booth accordingly. And also it's half off the booth rental. So booth rental for the main festival is $595. They'll put together for them. I'm not doing that.
That's kind of great.
I just
Show up and just start decorating.
You just show up in your tent there.
That's half the battle.
Yeah. So that's our emerging artist area. So if you feel really comfortable, that's where you would apply. There's also a third area for our local artists, and that's our big local area. So big locals applications aren't open yet. Big locals applications will open in February. But Donna and Pat, who are on that team,
So the Big Local Arts tent is like a festival within a festival. Typically, we've been taking over for the last few years, the area that heads into Franklinton, so like right there in front of 400 West Rich. It has grown over the years to include a stage. We have like 8 tents now, I think, combined with all the big, we have like longer tents. So then each person there, if you apply for a like booth space, you get a full table. So you have a full table. It's not at the big 10 by 10 so that you're not so daunted. It's kind of a nice way to ease in. We have a second option, which is you're a wall hanging artist. You're interested in showing your art at the Arts Festival. You don't maybe have all 3 days to hang out with us. I mean, it's fine. We do enjoy hanging out with local artists, but you can bring your art, hand it to us. We will take your art on Thursday. We'll hang it up. We'll sell it. We'll send you a check. If it doesn't sell, you just come back on Sunday, we hand it back. So you're out nothing. So in, to be able to continue to do this and to be sustaining, the one thing we do ask that if anybody sells is that we take a percentage of that sale. So if you don't sell anything, you're not out anything other than maybe some sunburned skin and, you had to eat some, maybe suspicious pizza or something. I'm not sure while you're there.
And a lemon shaker.
Yep, and a lemon shake-up. Always make sure you get the lemon shake-up. It's on the corner. They're not too far from us. But it's just a great way to, the emerging artist is kind of like a step in, and we're kind of that, we have a mix. We have previous festival artists that show with us, up to people that have never shown at all before. So, and we were really proud a few years ago. We had an artist that showed with us for the very first time, and she was 90 years old. And she would get in a taxi and she'd come and bring us her art, and we'd sell her art, and she'd come back by, and her name's Phyllis. And she actually called Randall, our other co-chair, the other day, just to let us know that she's still around. So, she's about 95 now. So it doesn't matter what age you are or at what point in your career, Big Local's a great option.
And then there's also booths too.
Well, the table space.
Table space,
Yeah. Yeah, the table space. Good question.
Yeah, you said like, for artist sales, which I would be asking for percentage, how much should be percent?
15%. And that money all basically turns right back around. The Arts Festival pays, that way they pay for the tents. So we don't keep any money, who's on the committee. 8, 9, something like that. That volunteer, Pat and I, and Randall, who's my co-chair, we're all year volunteers. So basically, we make nothing. We just do it out of our own love for it. So all the money goes right back into the tent. So for the next year, for all the artists coming in.
Historically, Big Local started, and that was where local artists got a foot into the festival.
Yes, it was brought in as a way for some of those more, I guess, not really unseasoned, but folks that just hadn't really put their foot in. It's just a great opportunity to do that. Initially, the very first one was, is that 11 years ago?
Mhm.
When they had it at, near CCAD campus. And it was a carnival and only local art groups were allowed to take part in it. And we all put together and we had a big fun carnival. We had a big, so it was an art group palooza, but things have changed a little bit. Most of those art groups are, have gone, but, Big Local's still here. So we're still doing it.
Yeah, so if a person don't get into the emerging artists for the June festival, could they still get into the big logo? So like if they didn't get
Yeah.
accepted,
Yeah, so we changed it. So in years past, it was this, if you applied to the main festival and you didn't get in, then you were not able to apply. But we've made a decision going forward that people shouldn't be penalized for trying to apply to the main festival, to the emerging artists. You can still become a part of Big Local. And it's nice because our deadline isn't until February.
so the other question is, you said you set up like right in front of 400?
Yeah, so it's basically from like the parking lot at front of Ridge, and it goes all the way up to the corner near the bridge. Mhm.
And then the person doesn't have to be there, they just drop off their art?
If you just bring us paintings, yep, you drop them off on Thursday, we'll hang them, sell them, pack them up. And then you come back in on Sunday and you just pick up your art
Is there
then.
a limit how many people can drop off?
We usually like say about 10 unless they're really small.
Okay,
There's definitely a price point and a size.
right.
Because people put 4 or 5 small paintings in a bag and take them on their way just because they're, easy to carry versus, but we have pieces of all sizes. We have one artist that she brings us about 30 or 40 pieces, but they're like this size. So like the little teeny tiny things. So
I asked if there was a
I'll
limit.
put those in all those crevices. Any spot that we can hang them, we will.
10 is the limit?
That's a good size limit.
Yeah, 10, up to like 16 by 20.
For Big Local, or June.
So anyone else have any other? Yeah.
Linda has a good question.
Well,
Mhm.
sometimes when things are juried, there's points that are given. I don't know, but do you give any preference to Columbus or Ohio artists?
The jury is a really good question about how jury works. The jury is completely blind. So you're asked to submit 5 images of your work. So 4 of them are individual images of your work. The 5th is a booth shot. If you don't have a booth shot because you haven't done festivals before and you're applying to emerging artists, then you just kind of do a collection of your work so we can get an idea of what your body of work looks like. And then they will just see those images and they will score them. No identifying marks. Kenneth is right now scrubbing all the identifying marks out of different images and having artists resubmit them with no identifying marks. But it's a completely blind jury.
Yeah, because a booth shot, you might have like a banner up on your booth shot. What do you do? Want
That's their brushed out. That's what Kenny's doing.
So
to
we,
do that?
no, we would in ZAP, which is the program you submit the application for, we will flip your status from received to incomplete and then send you an email saying, hey,
You got
this
it.
picture has your label in it. You need to black it out and then resubmit.
So, I mean, so you could just put like a color block over
Mhm.
it on your, okay.
Yep.
Oh, and the other question I had is, since this goes till 10 at night, is there electrical available for everybody's booth? And what about lighting?
Yeah, so a bunch of really good questions. So there is electric on site for the festival that we provide. You have to bring your own lights though,
Oh,
but there will be like drops behind you where you can plug in. If you need additional electric, there is additional electric on site. You just have to mark that you need additional wattage and then there is a charge for that. Artists are allowed to close at 9 o'clock at night. So some artists feel like their work kind of stops selling after a certain point, so they'll want to close at 9. Other artists, I've seen their booths packed with people and I could not even get into their booth at 9:45 at night. So you know your work best, like if it's like large scale, huge pieces, those folks tend to like close up early. Some of the people who are doing prints or just smaller works, like there's one woman whose works are like the size of like a thumb head. I could not get into her booth at 9:45 at night just to say hi because it was packed with people. So you have that option to enter, like,
And what kind of security is there? I mean, you have to zip your booth up, but
yeah, so there are tent walls and if you have a professional tent or whatever you have to secure your tent. We always tell people, if you have grabbables, don't leave them there. Like if you have tools or stools or other things that could just, like someone could reach in and grab and go, don't leave those there. And we do have 24-hour security on site all night long doing rounds.
so would you tell people to pack up their merchandise at night and take it?
No, 'cause that's typically not what goes. People are looking for hammers, saws, power tools, coolers, those types of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, it's always, nothing is beyond the realm of possibility, but every precaution possible is taken for a secure site.
When the emerging artists still get prizes?
Yes. I love this question, yeah. So this year, our emerging artists, so emerging artists has one
Yep.
prize, so there's 12, like we talked about. Emerging artists, best emerging art festival artist has one prize. This year, 4 current and prior emerging festival artists won prizes. So 4 out of 12 were all won by emerging festival artists, and one of them was a prior emerging festival artist, so really, really cool.
Including
And
that.
that goes to show that the program gets you ready for the
Evan did
festival.
great.
And that's also the jurors, so the ones that chose the festival, show up and walk the festival and like look at, maybe 2 of them, not all of them, 3 of them. Walk and do a judge, and that's when you get those reprints, which is a really neat experience.
Is it about the work or is it about how
All
your
of it.
booth looks?
The experience and the art.
Yes, and.
Yes, all of it.
Yeah, and the jurors, like Lisa mentioned, there are 5 jurors that jury the work in January. 3 of them get invited to come do the on-site. So by the time that juror is walking past your booth, you've probably seen your work at least 3 times. Because we run through the art so much in January, and now they're seeing it again live and in person on site. So they're familiar with the work as they're walking. These are great questions, guys.
Yes. The slide with the QR code, is that, like Lisa, that was on the website? Do the rules and regulations, some shows have like how many prints you can have, like that, is that on there?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. All that is in the prospectus. The prospectus is long, guys. I apologize. I did a lot of editing. We tried to make it a little bit more colorful. We had our designer get involved to like make something big and something small, so it's more attractive to the eye, but it's still long and it's worth the skin. If you think you might be in violation of any of the rules.
So that is what it looks like when you visit the website. There's a link there. But yeah, it'll explain everything from front to back. So I would definitely say follow that first and then look on the website. And if you still have a question, send us an email.
Okay, Liz, where are we applying at on the website? Like, where exactly?
Yep, so on the website here, under our visual artists, you just go to artsfestival.org /apply. And there's a orange radio button for apply now right on there, and it will take you to Zapplication, which is the industry standard for festivals. And from there, it will guide you to create your login and submit your works.
Okay, ColumbusArtsFestival.org/apply.
Yes,
And ZAP is national, right? So
yes.
once you're in that system, you can look at lots of other opportunities
Mhm.
across the state.
Yes.
That's how a lot of emerging festival artists like started with this and then have gone on to do like the tour of festivals.
Yeah.
We do a lot of these festivals in the summer.
Also on our website is the artist gallery. If you just click here under visit and our drop down here. So to Alexis's point earlier, if you have a question about what category does my works fall under, take a look at what's already been submitted in years past and you can filter
All
down
over
and
all
see.
mediums, Just check out all the different categories.
Yep.
Start.
So jewelry, leather, wood, whatever your medium is, you can take a look and see what has been accepted. Kind of give you a guide, so.
Who creates that little circle with the person, is that done on the website?
That's done by our team,
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Like we mentioned, if you're jurying for emerging festival artists, you don't have to worry about picking a medium. Your medium is emerging festival.
Yeah, one thing to note too about emerging festival artists, that is available for folks that live in Franklin County and its surrounding counties. So Union, Licking, Fairfield, Delaware, all those, yeah. Yeah,
I was like scrambling like on my list, but I
So
just.
basically, if you live in Jefferson County, wow, you travel a long way to find out you cannot apply for emerging festival artist. What was your question?
If you do get accepted, are you able to pick where you would be located?
Such a great question. So when you are accepted, you'll be able to fill out a kind of like a receipt of like, here's all the things I need to purchase. Of course, electric, pen, water, bottle, whatever you need. You also get 3 slots to write in, like, here's where I would like to be placed. If you are part of the early bird, people who pay early, you have a high percentage of getting the things that you want, or getting your 1 or 2 placement. If you pay later, I will do everything in my power to get you on one of the 3 streets that you asked for, but I can't guarantee it. But I do read them, and I do try really hard to at least get people close to what they want, which makes it take a lot longer to build a map, but I really try.
That's where it is.
Yep, and all these different streets will be labeled in a different way. It's like, this is the Main Street, so it'll say Main Street Bridge, but then there'll be also be a section called Main Street Off Bridge. And there'll be Civic Center, Bridge Street Off Bridge. But whatever streets are available, so all be with it. And that's why I have
Yeah, it's on the
this
front.
map. Is
Oh,
like,
I really
it's
have-
like-
I see it, thank you.
Any other questions, guys? These have all been really good questions. Any other questions for Lisa or Pat and Donna about Big Local?
Oh,
Oh,
thank you.
No, go ahead.
Thank you. Got accepted into the Virgin Artists, it will be in February.
February 12th, with emerging festival artists and festival artists get notified that they.
Yellow index card.
And the big logo, you can apply when if that.
It'll open in February.
Oh, thank you.
It'll open probably just after
And then what's the deadline on that, to find out if you get accepted into that?
April. Is that what we said?
Yeah, the applications close April 1, and you'll find out like by mid to late April, you got
Oh,
in.
okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That information also on the first one.
Yeah.
And if you
we
go
switched to
online,
earlier
and you
this year.
apply, the first
Sorry,
section.
too
talks about-
scrambly in the last 2 weeks.
The second section talks about emerging, and the third section. talks about
Stalking
Big
people.
Local. Any other questions? Thank all of you for being here tonight, for being in the festival. Take the snacks. And Kenneth is handing out something very important,
No,
which
that's
is,
guys.
your thank you for being here and for showing up tonight. Use that code when you apply and your application fee is waived. There is an application fee of $40, but since y'all were here tonight, free application for you. Don't share it with friends. Thank you.
Sorry. Remember how much your cards cost, like, is there like a certain amount as far as like, how much you charge for your paintings or?
No, but especially with emerging festival artists, they'll coach you on like what you should be charging. Because some people charge like, we'll just use round numbers and say like, I'm gonna charge 20 for this. Your emerging festival artist coach might be like, that's $80. Raise that, you know, like, they'll help you with that pricing, for sure. But no, there's no
You
like,
don't have to change your prices if you don't.
No.
I think you're okay.
okay. All right. Thank you all so much. Take some snacks. We really appreciate you being here. Thanks for your interest. Kenneth and I's cards are on the table. If you have any follow-up questions that you think of after this, feel free to reach out to us. That's why we're here.
That was fair.
So, and thank you, Lisa,
You're
Pat,
welcome.
and Donna, and Brexa for being here tonight to help us out.
Thank you.
Okay, so, when I apply, should I just apply for both of those options at the same time or just